Acid, bases and salts, class 10th, lesson 2. So in this chapter we'll be studying about the acids, bases and salts. So the common thing about all the three chemicals is that on adding to water, all the three dissociates to give cations and anions. So let us study more about these chemicals. Now let's study about types of salts. There are basically three types of salts: acidic salts, basic salts and neutral salts. Let's try to understand this. Let's study the first one, that's a basic salt. As we are telling it's a basic salt, means this salt is actually going to show slightly basic nature. And why does it show basic nature? Is because it is formed by the reaction of a strong base and a weak acid. So the strength is not at all equal. Sodium is a strong base, whereas carbonic acid is a weak acid. So as the strength is not equal, whichever is a stronger one will definitely have an impact on the salt. So as the base is stronger, the salt form will be basic in nature. Neutral salt is formed when the strength of the acid and the base is equal. Either both are strong acid and base, or either both are weak acid and a weak base. So here it's a strong base and a strong acid. So when they are reacting, you are getting a neutral salt. So sodium sulfate is a neutral salt. Next, ammonium nitrate. It's an acidic salt. Reason, because it is formed by the reaction of ammonia, which is a weak base, and a strong acid, nitric acid. So as again the strength is not equal, acid is stronger, is having an impact on the salt. So what are salts and what are the three types of salts? It's a very common question which can be asked in board exams. Let's look at some more salts. So you can see the parent salts are being given and result is also being shown. It's a weak acid and a strong base. As the base is strong, so you are getting a basic salt. Strong acid, strong base, both are strong, so you are getting a neutral salt. Strong acid, weak base, and you are getting a acidic salt. And because acid is stronger over here. Strong acid, again a weak base, again you are getting a acidic salt. Next, let us study about salts in detail now. Sodium hydroxide is a very strong base. Now we'll be studying one process that is called as a chlor-alkali process. Why we call it as a chlor-alkali process? Because in this process you get chlorine as a product and you get alkali, means a water-soluble base that is produced in this. So in this process, electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride called brine. Sodium chloride decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. Chlorine gas is formed at anode and hydrogen gas is formed at cathode. Sodium hydroxide solution is formed near the cathode. Now look at the reaction. Sodium chloride is a common salt. Dissolved in water, that's why written AQ, means aqueous, and a solution of sodium chloride is taken. And what is the meaning of brine? Actually a solution of sodium chloride and water in which no more sodium chloride can be dissolved. मतलब इतना घुला हुआ है सोडियम क्लोराइड की और डिसॉल्व ही नहीं हो सकता है, तब हम ब्राइन कहते हैं. So water is also here as it is dissolved in it, and water is also participating in the reaction, and you get three products: NaOH, chlorine and hydrogen gas. Bleaching powder. Bleaching powder is represented as calcium oxychloride, as the name indicates. Similarly, the formula can also be learned. Calcium, oxy is coming from oxygen, chloride is coming from chlorine. Though the actual composition is quite complex, preparation, how do we prepare it? Bleaching powder is prepared by the action of chlorine on dry slake lime. So in the previous slide we studied about chloralkali process, and that we got a product chlorine. So chlorine is being used over here. So that is a very important process you need to remember. So calcium hydroxide, when it's treated with chlorine, you get calcium oxychloride plus water. So calcium oxychloride is bleaching powder. It has a bleaching nature, means it makes the colors lighter. Baking soda, sodium hydrogen carbonate, even we call it as sodium bicarbonate, both the names are being taken. Baking soda is the common name. Sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate is the chemical name. Formula NaHCO3. Preparation, how do we prepare it? NaCl combines with water plus CO2 plus ammonia, and you get two products, ammonium chloride and sodium bicarbonate. This process is called as Solvay process. In this you are getting sodium bicarbonate, which actually you are doing the reaction to obtain it. But ammonium chloride, which is being produced, is also a very important chemical which is used in other factories for many useful works. Washing soda, sodium carbonate decahydrate. This is the chemical name. Washing soda is the common name. Now let's look at the preparation. In the first step, sodium carbonate is obtained by heating baking soda. So in the previous slide we have studied how to prepare a baking soda by Solvay process. So after preparing baking soda is heated. You get washing soda, sodium carbonate, plus you get water, plus you get carbon dioxide. So as you are heating it, so water will get vaporized and CO2 is a gas, will escape. So you are left only with sodium carbonate, which is a white powder. Then washing soda is produced by recrystallization of sodium carbonate. So here whatever we are getting sodium carbonate is actually anhydrous sodium carbonate, means it's not having any water of crystallization, and washing soda is that which is having 10 molecules of water of crystallization. So recrystallization is being done. What is recrystallization? You have already got the crystals. You will dissolve it in water and then you will heat it, and you will stop the heating process when you will see that the crystals of sodium carbonate have started depositing on the sides of the china dish. So in this process, sodium carbonate is added with water, then you heat it, you get sodium carbonate decahydrate. So every sodium carbonate molecule is going to take 10 molecules of water of crystallization, and the remaining water molecules will evaporate during the process. Plaster of Paris, chemical name calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Plaster of Paris is the common name. It's also called as POP, and this is the chemical formula, that calcium sulfate in CaSO4 dot half water molecules. This is the chemical formula. Now look, let's see how it is being prepared. For preparation of plaster of Paris, gypsum is heated at a temperature of 373 Kelvin. So this is gypsum, calcium sulfate dihydrate, having 2 molecules of water of crystallization. When you heat it at temperature of 373 Kelvin, you get calcium sulfate hemihydrate plus 1.5 molecule of water of crystallization get evaporated. Now here temperature is very important. If temperature is higher than 100 degrees Celsius, then you will not get plaster of Paris, rather you will get anhydrous calcium sulfate, which doesn't have any property of plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris has a unique property that on adding water, it combines with 1.5 molecule of water of crystallization and again changes into gypsum. So you may have seen that POP is being used for making statues, it's used for making toys, it's used for in roof work. POP का वर्क आजकल घरों पे छतों पे करवाया जाता है. It's being used in plastering when the bone fractures. So it takes 30 minutes for setting. Means after 30 minutes, calcium sulfate hemihydrate is going to change into calcium dihydrate. Means it's going to change into gypsum. Means it's going to change into a hard mass, hard structure. These are the common salts that we need to study, their chemical name, their chemical formula and their uses. Washing soda, sodium carbonate decahydrate, formula, manufacture of borax, manufacture of caustic soda, softening of hard water. Baking soda, chemical name sodium hydrogen carbonate, formula NaHCO3, used as antacid and is an ingredient of baking powder. Bleaching powder, calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2, used for bleaching cloths, used as oxidizing agent, for disinfecting water, manufacture of chloroform. ब्लीचिंग ऑफ क्लॉथ मीन्स कि जैसे वाइट कपड़े अगर धोए जाते हैं तो लॉन्ड्री वाले या धोबी वगैरह क्या करते हैं कि ब्लीचिंग पाउडर को यूज करते हैं जिससे कि वाइट में कोई अगर दाग दूग लगा हुआ है तो वो लाइट हो जाएगा, तो वो बिल्कुल कपड़े वाइट वाइट नजर आते हैं. यूज्ड एज एन ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट मीन्स इट्स केपेबल ऑफ गिविंग ऑक्सीजन. डिसइंफेक्टिंग वाटर मीन्स किलिंग जर्म्स फ्रॉम वाटर, यानी कि माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स जो वाटर में प्रेजेंट हो. तो म्यूनसिपैलिटी का जो पानी आता है उसमें ब्लीचिंग पाउडर यूज किया जाता है, बिकॉज ब्लीचिंग पाउडर हैज अ टेंडेंसी ऑफ रिएक्टिंग विद कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड प्रोड्यूसिंग क्लोरीन गैस. क्लोरीन गैस is having a disinfecting nature, means it kills microorganisms, and it is used in manufacturing of chloroform also. Plaster of Paris, calcium sulfate hemihydrate, formula CaSO4 dot half molecule of H2O. It's used in plastering fractured bones. कि मैंने बताया था कि अगर फ्रैक्चर हो जाता है तो उस बोन को वहां से हिलाना नहीं होता है, तो उसको एक जगह पे ही सेट रखने के लिए प्लास्टर अप्लाई किया जाता है. तो उसमें बैंडेजेस एंड POP यूज किया जाता है. मेकिंग टॉयज, बच्चों के छोटे छोटे खिलौने. डेकोरेटिव पीसेस, कोई सजाने की चीजें बनानी हो, स्टैचूज बनाने हो तो बनाए जाते हैं. इवन ज्वेलरीज भी बनाई जाती है. लाख की ज्वेलरीज का सब्स्टिट्यूट इसको मान लिया गया है कि लाख की ज्वेलरी महंगी होती हैं तो POP की बना दी जाती हैं, सो उनकी कॉस्ट भी कम होती है. यहाँ एक चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है जो आपको जानना है इन दोनों का, वो ये कि ये जो है सॉफ्टनिंग ऑफ हार्ड वाटर, तो वॉशिंग सोडा जो होता है डिटर्जेंट्स में डाल दिया जाता है, क्योंकि जो हार्ड वाटर होता है उसमें सोप को जब यूज करके क्लीनिंग की जाती है तो झाग अच्छी नहीं आती है, और अगर झाग अच्छी नहीं आएगी तो क्लीनिंग अच्छी नहीं होती है. सो डिटर्जेंट्स में वॉशिंग सोडा डाल दिया जाता है, जिससे कि डिटर्जेंट्स का क्लीनिंग एक्शन सोप से ज्यादा इसीलिए अच्छा होता है क्योंकि उसमें प्रेजेंट वॉशिंग सोडा वाटर को सॉफ्ट बना देता है. तो हार्ड और सॉफ्ट वाटर का मीनिंग ये है कि हार्ड वाटर में सॉल्ट्स होते हैं जो कि झाग नहीं बनने देते हैं, कैल्शियम और मैग्नीशियम के सॉल्ट्स होते हैं, और सॉफ्ट वाटर वो होता है जिसमें मैग्नीशियम और कैल्शियम के सॉल्ट्स ना प्रेजेंट हो. तो वो जब नहीं प्रेजेंट होते हैं तो क्लीनिंग प्रोसेस झाग बनना ईजी हो जाता है. बेकिंग सोडा में जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज आपको याद रखनी है, एंटासिड वी हैव ऑलरेडी डन, इट्स अ माइल्ड बेस, सो इट इज यूज्ड इन इनो एंड ऑल. कि इनो वगैरह में भी एसिडिटी होती है तो इनो भी बोला जाता है कि ले लो, उसमें भी बेकिंग सोडा होता है, तो वो रिलीफ देता है एसिड को न्यूट्रलाइज करके. ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन अक्सर आ जाता है, इंग्रेडिएंट ऑफ बेकिंग पाउडर. ना बेकिंग सोडा इज समथिंग एल्स एंड बेकिंग पाउडर इज समथिंग एल्स, दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. बेकिंग सोडा एज इट इज रिटन, द केमिकल नेम इज सोडियम हाइड्रोजन कार्बोनेट and the chemical formula is NaHCO3. सो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ बेकिंग पाउडर एंड अ बेकिंग सोडा? बेकिंग पाउडर जब हम बात बोल रहे हैं यानी कि एक ऐसा पाउडर जिसमें बेकिंग सोडा प्रेजेंट है और कुछ और भी प्रेजेंट है, मिक्सचर है, वो मिक्सचर है बेकिंग सोडा और टार्टरिक एसिड उसके साथ मिक्स कर दिया जाता है। तो व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ एडिंग टार्टरिक एसिड? एक्चुअली बेकिंग सोडा जो है जब किसी भी फूड आइटम में डाला जाता है तो हम उसकी जब बेकिंग करते हैं, जब उसको बेक किया जाता है, पकाया जाता है, तो उस बेकिंग में ये जो है वो डिकम्पोज कर जाता है, ये चेंज हो जाता है और सोडियम कार्बोनेट बनाता है। हमने इसकी प्रिपरेशन में भी देखा था कि सोडियम कार्बोनेट कैसे बना था, सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट की हीटिंग से। तो अगर सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट प्रिपरेशन के टाइम सोडियम कार्बोनेट में चेंज हो जाएगा तो उस टाइम कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड गैस भी रिलीज होती है। तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिलीज होने से क्या होता है कि जो भी प्रिपरेशन हम बनाते हैं वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड उस प्रिपरेशन में से एस्केप करने की कोशिश करती है, तो उसमें छोटे छोटे बबल्स बन जाते हैं या वो चीज फ्लफी हो जाती है, सॉफ्ट हो जाती है, स्पंजी हो जाती है। लेकिन क्योंकि सोडियम कार्बोनेट भी बनेगा इस रिएक्शन में, तो सोडियम कार्बोनेट भी और सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट भी दोनों ही एक्चुअली बेसिस हैं, तो वो प्रिपरेशन को बिटर बना देंगे। तो उस प्रिपरेशन का कोई फायदा नहीं होगा कि अगर वो सॉफ्ट और स्पंजी भी है लेकिन फिर बिटर है तो खाने में अच्छा नहीं लगेगा। तो उसके साथ टार्टरिक एसिड डाल दिया जाता है कि जब सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट सोडियम कार्बोनेट में चेंज हो जाएगा प्रिपरेशन में, तो उस सोडियम कार्बोनेट के साथ टार्टरिक एसिड रिएक्ट करके उसको न्यूट्रलाइज कर देगा, जिससे कि हमारी प्रिपरेशन जो है वो सॉफ्ट स्पंजी भी हो जाएगी और बिटर भी नहीं होगी। तो ये क्वेश्चन अक्सर पूछ ले जाते हैं कि किसी लेडी ने केक बनाया लेकिन केक छोटा था, क्या रीजन था? भाई उसने यूज नहीं किया होगा बेकिंग पाउडर, यही रीजन है। दूसरा कि उसने केक बनाया, सॉफ्ट और स्पंजी तो बना लेकिन वो बिटर था, क्या रीजन था? तो बहुत सीधी सी बात है, उसने बेकिंग सोडा यूज किया, बेकिंग पाउडर नहीं यूज किया, क्योंकि बेकिंग सोडा सिर्फ एक केमिकल है जबकि बेकिंग पाउडर क्या है? वो मिक्सचर है दो केमिकल्स का, टार्टरिक एसिड और बेकिंग सोडा का। वाटर ऑफ क्रिस्टलाइजेशन, it is a fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of a salt, यानी कि हर एक मॉलिक्यूल के साथ कितने वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स प्रेजेंट हैं, तो वो वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स जो होते हैं वाटर ऑफ क्रिस्टलाइजेशन हम उनको कहते हैं। ये एक अलग तरह के बॉन्ड्स के साथ इनके साथ अटैच्ड होते हैं, तो इसलिए ये क्रिस्टल्स देखने में गीले नहीं लगते, देखने में तो ड्राई ही लगते हैं, बट इसमें हर मॉलिक्यूल के साथ एक फिक्स्ड नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ वाटर अटैच्ड होते हैं। जैसे कॉपर सल्फेट के साथ 5 मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ वाटर ऑफ क्रिस्टलाइजेशन है, तो कॉपर सल्फेट पेंटाहाइड्रेट हम बोलेंगे। और कॉपर सल्फेट का कलर भी आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं, इट्स ब्लू इन कलर। तो जब भी whenever copper sulfate will have 5 molecules of water of crystallization, it is going to appear blue. Ferrous sulfate heptahydrate, as it is having 7 molecules of water of crystallization, this is the color, you need to remember the color, it's green, light green color, a beautiful blue and a green color crystals. So those who are very much interested in chemistry, they love these colors. So next chemical that have water of crystallization is sodium carbonate decahydrate. So this is what it is, washing soda. Next is calcium sulfate dihydrate, this is gypsum. Calcium sulfate hemihydrate, this is plaster of Paris. Remember the colors, children. Are the crystals of salts really dry? Copper sulfate comes in hydrated form, copper sulfate pentahydrate, and it comes in anhydrous forms also. So this is that form when it is having 5 molecules of water of crystallization. If you heat it, then it changes to white color. So if copper sulfate is white in color, that means it is sure shot that it is anhydrous, not having, but it has a property that it is again going to gain those 5 molecules of water of crystallization from the air with the passage of time. And if you want to see that quickly happening, so you can add few drops of water on it and you can see the change in color. So these are the reactions shown here. When you heat copper sulfate, it loses 5 molecules of water, it goes into the air and you get anhydrous copper sulfate, which is white in color. But if it gets the chance, means if it is kept in open, it's again going to take 5 molecules of water of crystallization from air, or if you are adding it, then again it is going to change into blue color. So it's generally very difficult to get copper sulfate in white color because it can easily combine with 5 molecules of water of crystallization from air and changes to blue. So mostly we have seen copper sulfate blue in color. You can see the reaction over here to make the things more clearer. Blue, it's appearing blue over here when you're heating it, and later on you can see it is anhydrous and is having white color. So you can see before and after. Now let us study about one more salt, that is ferrous sulfate. So ferrous sulfate also has water of crystallization. So in the previous slide also we have seen the color of ferrous sulfate. Why I am insisting on colors is it's important to remember these colors because these are asked in exams in different ways. So when you heat ferrous sulfate, when ferrous sulfate is having 7 molecules of water of crystallization, is green in color. So initially when you start heating it, first it loses its 7 molecules of water of crystallization. So when it loses its 7 molecules of water of crystallization, it turns into anhydrous ferrous sulfate. So anhydrous ferrous sulfate is white in color. So this is the first change that takes place. Then when you further heat it, ferrous sulfate is going to decompose to give ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So here you can see the color of ferric oxide. So ferric oxide is brown in color, and this reaction of decomposition of ferrous sulfate into ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide, we have done it in lesson 1 also. It is a type of decomposition reaction. That's all in this topic. Thank you, children.